Irish singer Sinéad O'Connor has died at the age of 56. In a statement, O'Connor's family says they are devastated and they are requesting privacy at this time. The singer shot to stardom across the world in 1990 with that haunting cover of Prince's "Nothing Compares to You." And in 1992, she captured headlines for her very public stance against the Catholic Church when she unexpectedly ripped up a picture of Pope John Paul II during her performance on Saturday Night Live. Grammy Award-winning singer leaves behind 3 children. ABC News contributor Mike Muse joins us now, of course, to talk about just Sinead as a singer, as a person, her struggles, her battles. Let's start just with her music. She had a tone, a sound, a vibe that was just unmatched, Mike.
It really was. It was almost uncanny. She had a way of not just singing music, but delivering music. It was almost theatrical in her vocal performance. Her vocal tone and texture was rich. It was deep. It had a little bit of pain that you can hear through it. And you can tell just in the voice that the voice told a story even without the lyrics.
You know, she talked about, I'm just looking back at some interviews that she had done, and she talked about growing up with a lot of trauma and abuse, and that she went straight into the music business, she says, and never learned really how to make a normal life. You know, her music was unique as much as her life story, and she was very open about her battles with mental health and addiction. She had the loss of her son, who died by suicide. She was taking in a lot.
For me, Kara, she was that blueprint of how success can also too be haunting, how fame and stardom can be haunting. When you think about the blueprint of that, the next iteration I think about was that next generation of pop stars with Britney Spears and how she dealt with fame. You think about Pink and how she was fighting this picture perfect female pop star and what it's supposed to look like and how you had to escape from that. In part, Sinead O'Connor talked about her book recently, that moment on SNL, a lot of people thought that it ruined her personally. Now, I will argue that I think that it did, and she will admit that the trauma was subconsciously in her, but she said it freed her from that ability to be this picture perfect pop princess. And so she said she was allowed to be flawed. She was allowed to make mistakes. And when you're under the microscope, when you're under the lights, when you're under the stage, you don't have that opportunity to make mistakes as you're always being criticized. And that is for somebody who's already coming from a fragile place. What most people don't know is that when she ripped up that picture of Pope John Paul II, Kira, do you know that that picture was actually hanging on her mother's wall? And the reason why that was so symbiotic for her is because she said that her mother sexually and physically abused her. And so what she was doing was not only was it a statement against the Catholic Church at the time, which was unpopular to go against the Catholic Church, but it was also 2 rebellious acts to free herself from what she believed her mother did to her. So it was in part in relationship and in conversation with the Catholic Church, sexual abuse and child abuse, as well as her mother's sexual abuse and child abuse coming together at the same time, ripping it up in protest.